Guys, happy weekend. I'm recording this now for the second time, so I have no idea what the deal is. But anyhow, we have a great throw. All right, we have 4 trumps though, however, and no swords. So don't get stuck in your head is all I'm going to say. And I have this 2 of cups turned this way for a reason. I want to show you something because people will normally say when I say slow down, there's too much fire. I'll get comments about, well, fire is good. It's, yeah, it is good, but it's not good when you're burning down the village, right? It's good in moderation. So we come in with the Knave of Coins, okay? He is not the Page of Coins, and I'll tell you why. We've got the Hanging Man, the Wheel of Fortune, the 2 of Cups, the Sun card, which is great. It sits smack in the middle of the reading. There could not be a better place. There actually can't be a bad place for that, but that's perfect. Okay. We've got the 7 of Coins. We've got the 8 of Wands, the Temperance card, and the Ace of Wands. Okay, but again, we have no swords in here. So I think what's happening here with the Knave of Coins, he's just the kicked up version of the Page, but not quite the Knight yet. With that card, there's mischief in there, in as far as they kind of don't go the straight and narrow. They're tempting fate. They're going to try to see just how much they can get away from before someone slaps their hand or something like that, right? Something to that degree. They're more apt to try something than the Page would. Okay, that wouldn't be so practical, so to speak, right? So we've got the Hanging Man in here and the Wheel of Fortune. The 2 of Cups I turned sideways because I think that this is, what it is. I think it's either a business relationship or it's a partnership, a relationship, like a personal relationship. Either of the two, it's gentle energy. It's very, very gentle energy, and it's surrounded by a 5-alarm fire. That's way too much fire. Okay. I think too I think you're just reevaluating your value system and this and the participants that you're in this with. This could be, like I said, any kind of relationship, but it's normally between 2 people. It's usually a romantic relationship or a start of a business venture or a start of a relationship. It's not the Lovers card where it's really, really invested. It's invested, but it's not, there's no karma like the Lovers card in here. So it's a little bit lighter is what I'm going to say. It's more balanced though. There's not as much friction as with the Lovers card. So that's a good thing, all right? And it sits right next to the Sun card, which is a card it's a card of enlightenment. It's a card of joy, happiness, harmony, marriage, anything that you want. Yes, everything sits in that Sun card. However, you've got to learn to work within the restrictions and the bounds and the boundaries of the universe, the natural order of things. You've got to not burn through the village, right? You've got to pace yourself with things. With the Wheel of Fortune coming in here, I'm going to say, and the Hanged Man, whatever you've been trying to do, you may have opposing forces here, because that with the Hanging Man there, it's just telling you've got to change your scope on something. You've got to change your perspective. You've got to change how you're looking at the situation or how you're coming at each other. Something is not balanced here, and that's where Temperance is coming in, okay, too. And I think you've got opposing forces in here. I think you've got someone who's trying to do something very practical, and you've got the other person who's trying to burn through the village, like skipping a few steps and not laying out a concrete plan and trying to, really, the 7 of Coins can be a fall from grace when you're trying to skip some practical steps. It's when you take, say a business venture, right, or whatever, it is going a little bit slow. You may have one person that says, let's reevaluate this. Let's go with this a different way. Let's see how else we can do this. What are, the walls that we're hitting and how can we get around them? and we've got another person who's taking all of the, you know, the business profits or the whatever the investment is here, and you're going to the slot machines, right? And you're going to get a quick win here. However, that's just, it's biting you in the ass, and that's why the Wheel of Fortune is showing up with the Hanged Man, and the Sun card is saying, you know, we're going to work with you. There's universal guidance here. You're just going to have to work within the confines of, you know, whatever system you're trying to work within. You can't do something that fast with this much force behind it. It's too much. It's not balanced. It's not practical. It won't last is where it's going here, because you've got the Ace of Wands down here, and that's a new start. That's another green light from the universe, because whatever that was not working out well. And I think what's happening here is the Eight of Wands is it's restless energy. It's energy that is always needing to be, it's communication needed. There could be a distance here too, because whatever it is still up in the air. It's not landed yet. And there's divine guidance behind that card. Okay, it's things haven't landed yet for a reason. You know, maybe communication isn't here for a reason. Maybe someone's too much in their head and not, you know, more of a talker than a walker. And I think that that could be also, there's conflicting forces in here with virtue. Okay, there's a way to do things and there's a way to not do things. And I think that those forces are not working well together, because to get the benefit again of temperance, you've got one part of you wants to, you know, plow through this really fast. You want immediate results and you want them now, right? And then the other side of that practical approach is you've got to go slow and steady. So the conflict in here needs to be, you know, it's kind of the same conflict. You're going to get what you want, but you've got to work within, you know, a practical approach. Rome was not built in a day, right? And I think what you've got here, the background in this card in here, I'll tell you, hair, you know, hair on your head is, it's a symbol of status, and it's a symbol of virtue, right? So in the Renaissance, when you sold your hair on your head, it had value. It held weight. It was like a dowry kind of speak, but on a lower scale, obviously. But what she did was, I forget her name. What she was royalty. I can't remember her name. But what she did was she sold her hair to get her husband back from war. Cuckoo bird here. And now she's thinking, you know, was my hair worth this reward here? Because what he's doing is he's kind of more of a talker than a walker, complaining, trying to organize, but yet doesn't really want to do anything in the right way. And that's when that card can be a fall from grace. When you're trying to skip steps and you want to do something fast, that's also in that card. It's a card of taking what you've got, reassessing where you've been in the past so that you can go forward in a better way, right? Or it's a fall from grace when you just decide to steamroll, take your earnings and you know, blow them at the casino, trying to do something, get some fast. Everything in this reading speaks of a paradox here. You've got one person in this situation here, okay, wanting to look at what didn't work here and try to tweak it in a better way. And you've got one person in here just trying to blow through the sound barrier here, and it's just not working. It's a total mismatch. So you've got to pull these two cards together, right? Look at a different way of doing something and, you know, communicate on it here, because these things are not landed yet. Eights are about harmonizing things, right? You're trying to bring some harmony back into this, but you've got conflicting ways of doing that here. The Ace of Wands in the outbound, I think it's great because it's the green light from the universe, you know, saying that it's held up here with the Wheel of Fortune. That's what's happening here. It's going to turn, but it's not going to turn until one of you gets what it is that's going on here and tries to work with the other and fix it. Okay, so with the Ace of Wands, you're getting another chance. You're getting another green light from the universe. But again, it's just a seed. What are you going to do with it? Right? So you're giving another opportunity here, but how that progresses is on you. You've either going to learn from your past, or it's going to go forward in a it's not going to get anywhere. It's going to be dead in the water, literally. It's just not going to go anywhere. So you've got to work together here. Slow and steady, not fast. There's too much fire in here. And it's just not, it's not working. And I think, again, with that Knave of Coins coming in here, it's just saying that, you know, someone may be trying to cut corners here, and it's just not going to work. It's just not. So I think you've got great potential in here. That Sun card, nothing can go wrong with that card unless you choose to not work. If you choose to keep hitting the wall, which I don't see why you would do that, but if you choose to keep doing that and be headstrong instead of, you know, work, you've got to step outside your box here, because I think someone's just got really bad work habits here, or really bad ethics, or just doesn't really. I just think that something is off here in the way that two people are operating. I think there's a very big mismatch where you've got one now reconsidering whether, because this is a good start, guys, but it's a 2. Okay, it's a 2. It's again, it's a seed plus something, but not plus much more, right? So to get that off the ground, you're going to have to work together in whatever this is, right? And I think in here, and in here sit the keys to this. You're going to have to just have a little faith that divine timing works things out. You're going to have to do as much as you can do, right? Because in that 7 of Coins too, the flip side to that coin, when it's not the fall from grace, is that, you know what, I've done what I can do, and now we're going to sit for a minute. We're going to see where this didn't work in the past and pull to the forward where we can go from here in a you know, in a proper normal paced, not breaking the sound barrier kind of way here. That's what you want to do. Apply a practical approach, but you've got to have both people in here. I really feel that, again, one person is just more going to complain about what's not working, but in net they end up being what the actual problem is. So I think you may, you know, reassess this and go about it in a different direction. But either way, you're being given another opportunity there. So, you know, what you choose to do with it is up to you, right? So there you go. That's what I think is happening. I think it's going to go through the weekend. I don't think this is something that's just come up. I think that what's happening, though, is now it's at a critical point where, you know, you may be out of funds. It may be dead in the water, whatever it is, the relationship. It needs more, you need to have some kind of communication here, but not with this much firepower behind it. You've got to be a little bit flexible, okay, and get out of whoever is stuck in their ways here. They're stuck in ways that clearly have not served them in the past. This is not the first time this is the person has hit the wall. This is just a way of doing things that just doesn't work well. It doesn't, it's showing you it doesn't work well, and it's showing up in, you know, in the exterior world too, because we've got houses and planets lit up in here that are telling me that it's just not, it's not launching well. So there you have it. Okay, I hope I helped you in some way. If you need a private reading, please reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to help you with that. Okay, thank you so much.